Hey everybody, it's your girl Elvia Cadena, also known as Elvia Chain. And I'm gonna be giving you guys a little background of how I started my music career. You know, I started off really young at a church. I was in the children's choir, also in the teens choir. And then slowly I started pursuing my career of singing. I started doing a lot of karaoke bars out in San Bernardino, Fontana, Rialto area. So I'm a IE girl. And then later on, you know, I started doing the whole rancheras. I started off with the rancheras, singing at restaurants. And I was in a trio called Trio Estilo Mariachi. And eventually I became a solo artist, and here I am now. We are here today at the Project Hope Unity Fest in the city of La Puente. And we are here helping out the community. They're giving out free haircuts, a bunch of other free things, clothes, shoes, food, and of course, performing, giving you guys a great show. My first interest in music was my mom, the rancheras. My mom would always sing a lot of like Chayito Valdez, cello. Rocío Dúrcal was one of the ones that I got like really hooked on. But also growing up, my dad, we used to watch a lot of novelas. So the music in the novelas was like really interesting. In the Spanish culture, at Univision, there was a lot of novelas, like little kid novelas. I used to watch like Aventuras en el Tiempo. There was a novela called, they had two twin sisters, and her name was Mariana and Silvana, and they were singers. So my dad used to buy us the CDs of the novelas, and we used to listen to them and throw little shows in the I grew up in apartments, so we used to throw like little concerts in the back and invite all the neighbors to come watch us, me, my sister, and a few of our other little friends who would throw on little shows for the apartments. In the back, in the cuadritos, we used to call it the cuadritos. Come out and watch us at the cuadritos. So those were a lot of the songs that I used to get into growing up. I used to listen to a lot of my older sister. She's 7 years older than me, so she used to be all in the chola scene. She was into Little Rob, so growing up, Little Rob was like one of my mains. Christina Aguilera, Alicia Keys, ¿quién más? Selena, of course, Selena. Shakira too, but this was way before Shakira came to be like the great artist that she is right now. She used to be a little more like in the mellow side. So those are a lot of the musical influences that I had growing up. It was a mixture of everything. The first time I hit the stage I was maybe like 13, 12, and it was at our church carnival. Shout out to St. Anthony's in San Bernardino. I went up there and I did a Shakira song. And I wore the little thing, how she used to wear it, and her hair down. And I used to imitate people growing up. They were like, sing like Shakira. So I would imitate Shakira, I would imitate Laura León. And that was like the first time that I went up on stage to sing, like an actual stage. It was at our church in San Bernardino, St. Anthony's Church. That was my first performance that I remember. After that, I did another one there, and I sang with the mariachi, and I forgot the song, and I ran off crying. It was embarrassing. My first paid gig was at a restaurant. ¿Cómo se llamaba el restaurant? No me acuerdo, but that was like my first paid gig, but we were doing mariachi. So I was singing a lot of like cello, Chayito Valdez. I did some Jenny Rivera, Beatriz Adriana. Yeah, it was at a restaurant in San Bernardino that no longer exists. The first song that I ever wrote is like that's out on digital platforms and everything. It's Forbidden Fruit. But before that, I have wrote down a bunch of like random things that I still haven't released. But Forbidden Fruit was my first original and single that I wrote and put out. We had the music video, the songs at all digital platforms, iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, all that good stuff. So check it out, Forbidden Fruit. That's my baby, my number one. Artist that I really look up to, in the Spanish scene, I really like Rocío Dúrcal, like I said, Rocío Dúrcal, cello, Chayito. Growing up, Shakira was like one of my mains in Spanish. I really like Etta James. She's like one of my favorites. She's like one of the first artists in that oldie scene that I used to listen to is Etta James and Bretton Wood. And Alicia Keys, growing up, Alicia Keys was like my favorite. I would tell my mom all the time when we were watching MTV, I'm gonna make a song with Alicia Keys when I grow up. And Amy Winehouse in high school, I really got into Amy Winehouse. She's like my favorite of all time. There's a lot, but Etta James and Selena, Amy Winehouse, Alicia Keys, Chayito, Lola Beltran, they all have all the stuff that I kind of like in there. So I mix it all up a little bit. Well, I really like the back in the day outfits. I really like pinup. I really like the 50s, the 40s, some of the roaring 30s. So I try to incorporate all that. I really like the flamenco dancers, you know how they have like the flared out stuff like this, and the curls. That's something that really inspires me. The folklorico stuff, like in Mexico, the flowers, the off the shoulder stuff. So I try to mix a little bit of like the pinup into like the Mexico, into, all the like my roots, and obviously everything else from here. And of course, right now I'm working with a stylist named Deandra. Make sure you guys check out Deandra Chanel Styles. And she's been like hooking it up with like the jewelry, and she knows what I like, so she just makes it stand out more, which is still like my style, what I like to wear, but a little extra, because I like to be extra. So give a shout out to my girl Deandra for hooking up a sister. So that's pretty much the styles that I like, that I go for, the pinup stuff, and kind of make it look like the Mexico a little bit. Yep, that's me. I like to look glam. So all the 50s, 60s, 40s, 30s type of era stuff is, just incorporated with a little more of like nowadays, which makes it look awesome. I love it. I love it. I would love to work with Little Rob. I love Little Rob. Like I said, he's one of my favorite ever since growing up. Little Rob is one of my favorites. I would love to work with like big names that we all listen to. Alicia Keys is dope. I recently seen Shakira did a song with JP from Fuerza Regida, and he's from my neighborhood. He's from San Bernardino, so I'm like, if homie from San Bernardino is working with Shakira, hey, that'd be like a dream come true. San Bernardino, and JP's from SB, so shout out to Fuerza Regida. Who else would I like to work with? There's so many people that I'd love to work with, but those are like one of the mains that I would love to like do something. And I did the Ontario Toyota Arena, there we go. That was like the biggest crowd I've had. I got the opportunity to open up for like Bretton Wood and Color Me Bad. The Sacred Souls were there. Mariah Avila. It was like a great show. It was the biggest show that I've done. And also in Visalia, the Visalia show in the Visalia Convention Center, that one was pretty big. And that one was like Baby Bash was there. Who else was it? Coda. There's a bunch of others, I can't remember, but those are like the biggest crowds that I've had so far. Hopefully sometime I'll be at like the Greek Theater or the Hollywood Bowl, or bigger stages. Slowly we'll hit bigger. I'm actually working on more originals. I have a lot of covers, so I want to work on some original stuff. And like Erykah Badu is also my favorite. I forgot to mention her. Erykah Badu is one of like my favorite. The way her music is put together, I really like that. So I'm working on something more of like me. It'll sound a little different, but at the same time, it'll still have that like that old soulful feel that I really love. So I'm definitely working on a lot of. I'm trying to work on some rancheras too, some Spanish stuff, because I do have family out in Mexico, and they keep telling me, Elvia, cántanos en español. So I'm working on maybe doing a few covers of like some Spanish music, and bringing my own Spanish stuff into it. So just be on the lookout. I'm working on some stuff for you guys, so don't go nowhere. You guys can make sure to hit me up at Lombera Productions. They have Instagram, Facebook, also their website, www.lomberaproductions.com. You guys can make sure to contact them and you guys could go from there. You guys could also follow me on Instagram under Elvia Chain, _, Facebook and YouTube, Spotify, everything else under Elvia Cadena. Don't stop, keep it going, keep pushing, don't give up. It's a little complicated, it's a little hard, but you'll get there. Just don't give up. Don't give up.